Hello, and welcome to mdsakuofmisyel. I'm Michelle Damari's intuitive artist and medium. And today you have joined me for another episode of Eternal Dewdrops, where we are continuing to go over some experiences that people have had of their loved ones from this article from BuzzFeed. And we are going to do another 5, and I think after that there'll just be 3 left. So the next episode will be a short one. All right, so let's begin. The first one is called The Warning. One night, I had the most vivid dream that I was at a birthday party and my late grandma was there. She was all dressed up and she was younger and vivacious. My grandma was holding 2 little twins, a boy and a girl, both with curly hair. There was a number 1 candle on both birthday cakes and everyone was singing happy birthday. But then my grandma kept asking, "Where is he?" over and over again, referring to my now ex-husband. I woke up in tears. 3 months later, I found out I was pregnant with twins, a boy and a girl, and they both have curly hair. My ex and I split up right before their first birthday. He no longer had contact with me or the kids. That dream was an absolute warning. I still get chills. Yes, our loved ones can and do come in our dreams and give us warnings. They give us signs. They give us whatever message that they feel we need that might help us. And, because her grandma was in this dream, that definitely was her communicating with her. If the grandma was not in the dream, then that is more like a premonition, or just more like something where, your dreams is letting you know what's going to happen in the future, which sometimes can be scary, just because you don't want the bad stuff. You don't want to know if someone gets hurt. You don't want to know if you get hurt. You don't really want to know those things. At least I don't. If you do, everybody's different. We want different things, right? So however, dreams are very, very powerful, which is something we can get into later on this podcast, but they are very, very powerful. They give a lot of information, and a lot of people think, oh, dreams, that's just stuff that we go through during the day, or that's just they don't mean anything. A lot of them do. You may have some that just kind of recounts how your day went, and it might be amplified in your dream, but for the most part, dreams are a way of communication between us and spirit world. And it's very important to look into your dreams, especially if it's something that, really bothers you, or it feels impactful, or you wake up and you just feel this unrest, or it could be lots of joy. It could be something that makes you sad. So, pay attention to your dreams sometimes. Maybe keep a dream journal and write down what has happened. And you might find later in the future that you dreamt that and then it happened. So, it's very interesting and something good to look into. So yes, her grandma definitely was visiting her and giving her a message about what was to come. All right, so the next one is called Her Voice. When I adopted my first child a few years after my mom died, I felt so alone. I felt like I had no one to help me be a mom. It was then I realized that I couldn't remember what my mom's voice sounded like. It broke my heart. A few days later, I was looking for my baby book so I could fill in the things in my son's baby book. Just then, I found a cassette tape in the same box. The recording was of my mom talking to me and my brother. Just silly nonsense talking, but it was her voice. I had never seen the tape before, and how it got in that box, I will never know. But I got a piece of her back, and I will never question that. I really love this. I find this so beautiful because, when there's something we want, it doesn't even have to be something we need. If there's something we want, our loved ones find a way to give it to us. And why? Because they want us to know that it was from them. They want us to know that they can hear us. They want us to know that they're around. And, they try to fulfill our desires if they can, and find a way to let you know that, that they're there. And this was very nice. The fact that she wanted to hear her mom's voice and the cassette tape just showed up. That's amazing and very beautiful, and such a great gift from her mom, from your loved one. So, yes, if there's something you want, or there's something that you feel like, oh, it would be nice if I can have this again, or it'd be nice if this happened. Don't be surprised if it all of a sudden shows up, and that is your loved one giving it to you. So be encouraged about that. That, like I said, they are very creative and they'll find a way to communicate. So the next one is called Pink Lilies from Mom. A group of friends sent me some flowers after my mother's death. They were white lilies. Most were closed or just beginning to bloom. A couple of the flowers that were the last to blossom were actually pink, but hadn't appeared any different than the others before that. My mom used to send me pink lilies on my birthday each year, so it was really comforting to me. That's amazing how, what we think is there, and then all of a sudden it changes and you're like, that was not there before. And I can't tell you how the magic works. It just works. So, that is a blessing. Some people don't believe in miracles. Some people do. Everyone has their own beliefs. And again, it is all okay. Whatever you want to believe, guess what? That is true for you. That is your belief. And you hold on to that if that what makes you happy. Of course, if that what helps you cope going through this life journey. We all got to believe in something. And it's best to believe in something than nothing at all. So, whatever helps us get through this life. As long as it doesn't cause harm. Keep your beliefs and let it encourage you. So yes, this is definitely flowers from her mom, and it's very sweet that, those special days, they love to come around and say, hey, I'm thinking of you. I didn't forget your day. So I really love that, and that's very beautiful. Now for the next one. It is called Expired Groceries. In my entire 36 years on the planet, not a day had gone by in which I hadn't seen my grandma, or at least spoken to her on the phone. Well, right after she died, I was at the grocery store because as we were planning her funeral, of course, a huge snowstorm was in the forecast, and I was sent out to stock up on groceries. I went to buy a bag of brown sugar, and the expiration date happened to be her birthday, 11/4. Then I went to buy some cookies, and the expiration date was my grandfather's birthday, 8/27. Okay, then I went to buy some brownie bites and put them back because I noticed they had expired. I walked a few steps, stopped, then went back and picked up the bag again. The brownie bites had expired 1/26, which was the date my grandfather died. I took this as a clear sign that my grandparents were together again in heaven. Their grandparents were together, and their grandparents was coming by to say hello. And yes, definitely, to see those dates, and the dates of the expiration date of any product could be any date, right? But it just so happened they're planning the funeral. She went to go grocery shopping during a snowstorm, and both her grandparents' death dates showed up to let her know, hey, yes, we are together and we're here with you and everything's gonna be okay. And also just give her that encouragement to help her get through the shopping and get through the storm. So that's very sweet that they did that, and really love that as well. So for our last one, it is called Grandma's Bobby Pins. My sister bought my grandma's house after she passed away. Slowly, she started changing things and updating rooms. Every once in a while, she would find a bobby pin, not in the carpet or under a shelf, but on the windowsill by their TV. They appeared where they hadn't been minutes earlier. We took it as a sign that Grandma, who was always well dressed and immaculately um, coiffured, appreciated and approved of her modern renovations. My grandma's been gone for 5 years now, and my sister still gets bobby pins from her. That's really sweet. Yeah. And our loved ones, yes, they can move things, they can have things appear. There's nothing wrong with that. And again, nothing scary about it. I think we like to make things scary and be in this fear and think, oh, there's ghosts and spirits around us, when the loved ones that are around us are there supporting us and giving us love and allowing us to realize that they're here and they're communicating and, just helping us get through life. Life is hard. If your life is easy and it's great, I'm very, very happy for those who have lives like that. But life is life, and things happen, bad things happen, stressful things happen. We get overwhelmed. We even can have good stress. And good stress is when we're just, overly excited about something. We can't get our mind off of it, and it's good stress, and to the point that we might even forget that we had to go do something because we're too excited about this one thing that we wanted to do or have. So yes, that was our 5 for today, and these were very great, wonderful signs from loved ones. And like I said, I know some things might just sound weird or scary for others, or people like to make them creepy, but it isn't. And the holidays are coming up. I know Halloween's around the corner. I'm not into making things scary, so I will say I probably most likely will not be doing scary stories, because I don't entertain those for my channel, just because I don't bring in that type of energy. My energy that I like to bring in is the support and love from our loved ones, and I will continue to do that. So for Halloween, I'll come up with some interesting things to talk about and enjoy, and still feel the love from our loved ones in a time where everyone else wants to be scared. So thank you for joining me for this episode, and I will see you next time. Okay? Bye-bye.